Thank you to everyone who has created this space, who collecting all of Parker's poems in one book. You get to feel the weight of her words. Like this is her body, this is her opus. And I like to think of poets as house builders. And the house that Pat has built is one where you can be visible, emotionally alive. You can talk in your own talk, wear what you need to wear, cut through the bullshit, and create that space of safety that is necessary in this world. And she's not afraid of conflict, the dialectic that's necessary to evolve and change us and deepen how we see and move in this world. And that's what I appreciate about her work, just like severe and necessary truth. So I'm going to be reading from her earlier work, and then I'm going to read a poem that very much embodies that truth that I feel is Pat Parker's words. I've entered her house. From deep within. Nature tests those she would call hers, slips up naked and blank down dark paths. Skeletons of the sea, this we would become to suck a ray of sight from the fire. A woman's body must be taught to speak, bearing a lifetime of keys. A patient soul moves through a maze of fear and bolts clothed in soft hues and mini candles. The season's tongues must be heard and taken, and many paths built for the travelers. A woman's flesh learns slow by fire and pestle. Like succulent meats, it must be sucked and eaten.
Gotcha.
So in reading this book and then reading the notes, there's like this way where I'm like, Pat Parker has entered my life at different times, and sort of consciously as an undergrad. But sort of unconsciously, this poem was recited by Cree Summers on A Different World. It's the brother poem that begins with a quote from Harriet Tubman. There are two things I've got a right to, and these are death or liberty. One or the other I mean to have. Yes. Harriet Tubman. Brother, I don't want to hear about how my real enemy is the system. I'm no genius, but I do know that system you hit me with is called a fist.
Achoo.
So I wrote a poem dedicated to Sakia Gunn, who was murdered in May 2003 in Newark, New Jersey. Gunn, for Sakia Gunn. Sakia, if you had the weapon of your last name, I would not know you. This steady scrape against paper to transport fecund lament, never. If in your hands the pearl-handled gun my stepfather kept in the bedroom closet, I'll give you the aim I practiced at 12. Home is where the heart is, marks an average man's forehead, and the trash can is somewhere near his jewels. If you brought me roses in high school wrapped in newspaper to protect me from thorns, I would take them and wash ink from my fingers in the jeans and jersey flood of your girl-boy body. Let me be your girl. Forever to eternity onto my back. Your fingers ballpoint in again and again practices the heart over eye. And into the morning we stash whispers where over thread crosses. I promise I have impeccable aim. Pulling a trigger loosens mustangs in your veins. Piss into my mortar. An old war recipe makes bullets complete. Let your shower wash an asshole from the streets. If blood quickly betrays its avenues for Newark sidewalks, his shirt tires of its thirst. If his buddy drives him to the hospital or leaves him to watch the night unspool, what a Jacob ladder he makes. If you're shocked your life requires this exchange, come into my arms, Sakia. Come into my arms. Thank you.
Arisa White, come on, give her a hand.